Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about fussy eating, which some of you might think, how can you really talk about fussy eating when you don't really have a fussy eater? I like to think that we get one fussy eaters or fussy sleepers. I have a fussy sleeper. But actually, while Billy is a good eater, it definitely isn't a given that everything I make he eats. There's certain things I have to do, certain things I have to say, certain ways I have to serve the food that will encourage him to eat a better variety of food. He at least 3 or 4 times a day says no to things that I offer or suggest. And I have all these little tricks and tips and things I do that help it seem more appealing or help get it into his head that it's good to eat X, Y, and Z. So today I wanted to share my 5 fussy eating hacks, I'm going to say, but things that help me get the food into Billy, healthy food into Billy, and help him eat a wide variety of different foods and get him closer and closer to eating the way we eat and having a healthy, balanced diet. For full disclosure, I will say that he does have treats. Most days he has treats. In fact, we're potty training at the moment and he's a treat every single time he does a wee. So there you go, nobody's perfect. So yeah, there are certain things I do and I'm going to just kick right into it. First things first, this is not a prop, this is just me explaining something, but letting Billy get involved in the cooking process. So for example, yesterday we had a prawn stir fry. So we had prawns, mushrooms and peppers. He does not eat peppers, he does not like peppers, and I've tried loads of different ways of giving them to him, he just doesn't like them. But he is coming around to mushrooms. So I let him put the mushrooms into the pan, I let him stand up over there on his little step, the little step that I got for his potty when we eventually move into the toilet, away from the little potty, and I let him stand up on it, put the actual mushrooms into the pan, and we got a wooden spoon and he mixed it up and he felt really involved in the whole thing and he just absolutely loved it. I also let him pour some oyster sauce and some soy sauce into the pan, and yesterday he ate loads of prawns, loads of mushrooms, loads of rice, and he got really excited when Daddy came home and I said, "Tell Dad you made the dinner, what did we do?" And he said, "Oh, mushrooms and soy sauce," and I stirred it and he was telling Daddy and he was so into it. So don't be afraid to let your kids get involved in the cooking process. I know it's more stressful and it's more messy and they're in the way, but you might thank yourself because it might actually familiarise them with more ingredients and make it seem like something fun and not something that's a chore. Tip number 2, serve food in fun ways. So I don't mean like making a tropical scene, a picture of like palm trees and stuff out of radishes. I don't have time for that. I mean serving them food in their lunch boxes, like with characters on the front, or finding little cute quirky ways of serving their fruit, rather than like you can get fruit skewers off AliExpress and you can just give them loads of grapes with the little skewers in it, stuff like that. I love getting branded lunch boxes. So this is Avengers. I got this for Billy in like our local pound shop. It was only I think $1.49, and I know when he sees his lunchbox and he opens this up, it's something that he recognises, and instantly we're starting off on a positive note, so I feel like that helps. I also got another lunchbox set last week in Tiger, and it came with these little mini lunchboxes, so it's just like the shape of a car. It's got little fingerprints on it because we used it this morning, but I like to fill that with orange segments, grapes, blueberries, strawberries, and I usually send this kind of thing to school so that when he opens his lunchbox it's like, oh, there's my little car lunchbox. And I just think it makes the food seem more fun, more interesting, more something he recognises and something that he'll enjoy. Tip number 3, to kind of serve him food in an interesting way. So I know if I just put an apple in Billy's bag, he's not going to touch it. For starters, he prefers apple with no skin on it. He will eat it if it's in segments with skin on it, but he prefers to have no skin and to be cut into segments. So rather than keep putting that apple in their school bag every day and it continues to come home every day and you keep putting it back in, give it to your child in a way that they're actually going to eat it. So something as simple as, I bought this, it's an apple core. I got it in Home Store and More. It was only $2.90 I think, and it's really simple. You literally just hold it over your apple like that and you put the kind of stalk part in the middle and you just push it down and it chops the apple into perfect segments and leaves the core in the middle. You can dump the core, and like today Billy has apple for his lunch in school. I just quickly peeled the apple, took the core out, and he has a little lunch box full of apple pieces. I put them in a sandwich bag, and once they're airtight they're usually fine for a few hours and don't discolour. But I've actually started having my apples this way too, because it's just a nicer way to eat apples than just eating an apple. It's just more interesting and it feels like it lasts for long. Ooh, fly. It just feels like the apple lasts for longer and it's kind of, there's more eating in it. So something as simple as that could really make a difference. And I actually throw that in my handbag all the time because I always have an apple in my handbag, and it means if we're stuck and we're out and he needs a snack or we're in the car, I always have a way of giving him something that he can eat himself. So that's my first one. Second one is a melon baller. I haven't had one of these before, but I kept seeing them on Instagram and other people's social media, and I had to buy one. Again, it was only €2 in Home Store and More, and it's so handy. You just open up your melon, take the seeds out, and you just scoop it up like an ice cream scoop, and you have big bowls of melon balls, and Billy just loves to eat them like that, and I actually love eating them like that too. So they've made a big difference, and again, it's just another interesting, fun way of serving food that's healthy. Number 4 is the books and programs your child is watching. If you try and centre them in some way around food or healthy eating to try and kind of get it into their heads and familiarise them. So for example, we love reading Freddie Button's books. This is an Irish author, it's Fiona Dillon, and these books are all about this little dude Freddie who goes on lots of different adventures. He has a goat who makes goat's milk, he picks strawberries from his strawberry patch in his garden, he gets eggs from the egg pen, or is that what they're called? Egg pen. And they make cakes with the eggs, and they talk about all the different ways you can have eggs, and Billy particularly loves talking about what they have for breakfast. So I always show him this picture and he'll tell me what everybody is having. He'll tell me that Mommy and Daddy are having a cup of tea, and that Freddie Buttons is having a boiled egg and a glass of orange juice, and I'll say to him, and what's in that jar? And it's honey, and who makes honey? Bees make honey. Where do they make honey? Where do they get the ingredients from? Or they find them in the flowers, and we start talking about food. Now, I don't do this every day at all. I am not the perfect mother. In fact, we don't even read every day, and I've really gotten out of the habit of reading. But I try to do whenever I think of it, and it just, these books have great little hidden messages about food and where food comes from, and kind of sustainability and just growing your own food and healthy eating. And he recognises the character, and it just makes the whole thing more normal for him. So I would highly recommend these books. I will leave the link to the website in the description box below, Freddie Buttons. I think there's 6 books altogether, and they're just absolutely brilliant. Last but not least, kind of make the food for your child exclusive. So I like to say that's Billy's. They're Billy's lunch boxes. That's Billy's food. They're Billy's bars. He loves the organics, goodies, oat bars. I say they're Billy's bars, and he knows they're Billy's bars. They're Billy's raisins, and he knows when you open the press and you see them, and there's like healthy snacks in his eye line or in his vision, and he knows they're his. He kind of feels like, oh, I have access to them, I can ask for them. So something else I've started doing is, and back to the melon baller, is actually putting lunch boxes of fruit in the fridge, so that when he's looking for a snack and he's asking for chocolate or crisps, and if I don't want to give that, I'll say, well, actually no, in the fridge there is a little lunchbox of melon for you, and I've used the melon baller to make that, and you'll never know. But like, so at the moment I have this little lunchbox in the fridge with melon in it, and I also have this one, the Winnie the Pooh, or sorry, Minion. Now chances are I'll probably use this for school tomorrow for Billy for his lunchbox, and this might be a snack later on. But they're ready to go. A little bit of effort involved. Like, I'm looking at a melon like for the last 3 days in the kitchen. It did take me a minute or two to say, right, just cut the melon, get the melon balls, put them in little boxes, and then put the melon, skin in the bin or whatever. But when it's done, I'm so happy it's done, because it just, I find like we go through a lot of berries and they're really expensive, but a melon is only, €1.50 or €2, and I get like a good lot of fruit from it. So I had a bowl of it this morning. There's another bowl in the fridge which I'll have tomorrow for breakfast, and then I have 2 little tubs for Billy. So I find it goes a long way. So they're just some of my tips, things I do to try and make Billy eat as healthy as possible. I know having a fussy eater is so difficult because loads of my friends have fussy eaters. Billy is definitely a good eater, and it's one of the things I find easier about parenting Billy. As I've said, the sleep thing I find really tough, but he's not perfect, and I have to do these things all the time to keep it kind of going, and he can very easily slip and start saying he doesn't like things, and then I have to kind of take it up a notch and change things. But they're my tips. Hopefully they might help you. If you like this video, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.